Hi, I'm Dr. David Dobson. Welcome to Conversations. Today, my guest is Professor Martin Berezaga. Martin is a tech entrepreneur and business instructor. Martin was born in Argentina, raised in Brazil, now calls Canada home. We will discuss Martin's professional journey as a new Canadian. It's a pleasure to have you on my show, Martin.
Thank you very much for having me, David.
Martin, prior to coming to Canada from Brazil, what were you doing in Brazil?
So actually, I was living in Argentina before I came to Canada.
Okay.
So I moved from Brazil to Argentina. I had my own business in Brazil, but I got to manage my business from Argentina during 4 years. And
Okay.
then from Argentina, I decided to move to Canada. Yeah, and in Argentina, I was working with online videos platform. I was helping
Okay.
them to reorganize their sales and their marketing team.
Nice. So 8 years ago, you came to Canada. Why did you decide to move to Canada?
Well, I was not planning to do so, but 1 year before I moved to Canada, I came to improve my English skills. I'm still doing
Okay.
that. And
Okay.
then it was the first time I got to visit another country that was not in South America.
Hmm.
And I liked Vancouver. I liked the environment. And I thought it could be a good idea for my kids to spend some years of their lives in
Okay.
a country with a different culture, but at the same
Mm.
time, a little bit more organized than South America and a little bit more with more safety. So yeah, main motivation was because of family.
Okay.
So yeah, we took that leap and we didn't regret at all.
Wonderful. So in Canada, you started a fintech company. Tell us about this business is.
Yeah, so the business is not operating anymore, but by that time I was networking with a lot of people in the international education industry, and when I told them about my background with online payments, they told me about some needs,
Okay.
some issues they were facing with those with the current tools they were using. So
Okay.
it took me about a couple of years to
Hmm.
plan this business and to start the operation. It was quite complex. It was the first time I was doing creating a new business in Canada.
Okay.
And then what I did is just before a couple of weeks before pandemic, we start having some transactions. We were helping international students to
Okay.
pay their tuition fees here in Canada. And eventually we also offer some financial options for them,
Okay.
financing options actually.
Okay.
But with all the pandemic restrictions,
Yeah.
after a couple of years after we started this operation, we decided to shut it down because
Yeah.
it was difficult to get new students coming to Canada by that time.
Yeah. It's a great,
But I
great
learned a
business.
lot during this process. Probably it was the
Yeah.
most challenging work project I ever worked with because
Yeah.
it technology and people from
Yeah.
different countries and regulations in different countries as well. So it
Yeah.
was quite challenging, but I learned a lot during the process.
Wonderful. Now you are a full-time business instructor teaching at various post-secondary institutions in Canada. Tell me why you decided to become a professor.
So I already had a chance to be a private tutor when I was a student at university. I was
Yeah.
teaching math and chemistry and physics,
Nice.
and I liked doing that,
Yeah.
but I never thought I was going to become a full-time professor.
Yeah.
But then when I was living in Montreal for a couple of years, I got the chance to start working at Concordia University. And when I was teaching there,
Yeah.
I realized that I had a passion for teaching and I had a full-time job by then, but I decided to take the leap and then I moved back to BC and I started
Okay.
teaching many institutions here. So actually, I realized that it was a passion for me. I like
Yeah.
teaching and I like
Yeah.
handling students from different
Yeah.
countries, not only
Yeah.
Canada, but also international students. So
Yeah.
I made the right decision. I'm quite happy with my decision.
Right. I just noticed that you took a lot of leap of faith, and so that's risk. So you take a lot of risk. So can I ask you what keeps you going?
So, what keeps me going is that knowing that I'm gonna die someday, and I want to do something meaningful. I want to. I
Yeah.
cannot do any kind of work that I don't enjoy doing it because
Right.
I'm terrible at that.
Yeah.
But whenever I do something I feel that has meaning and I'm giving a contribution to other people and
Yeah.
I feel fulfilled,
Yeah.
so that's basically what keeps me going. And
Yeah.
I like to keep being, I like to keep challenging myself quite often to learn new things, try
Right.
new endeavors.
Yeah.
And yeah, from time to time, I just revise my own life and career, and
Mhm.
I consider if I'm still doing what I like, and
Yeah.
if I feel that I should try something new, I just go for it. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work, but that's how I like to live my life.
Wonderful. So, based on your experience as an immigrant here in Canada, what is your advice to newcomers to Canada?
Yeah, so first, in my opinion, this is a quite important question for whatever endeavor you want to face is asking yourself why.
Hmm.
Why I'm expecting or why I want to do this.
Yeah.
If you know your why, it's
Yeah.
gonna be less difficult to handle
Yeah.
all the challenges you're gonna face.
Yeah.
Immigration to another country is quite difficult for most people.
Yeah.
You're gonna be far away from your family and friends, so you should have a strong reason to do that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you decide to do it, uh, do not give up easily. Try
Hmm.
to remember yourself why you're doing this many
Hmm.
times. In
Yeah.
my case, every time I was taking a look on the news of Brazil and Argentina, I was reminding myself why I
Yeah.
moved to Canada.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I would say this, you need to be quite open-minded. You need to become a
Hmm.
different version, a better version of yourself.
Yeah.
You need to be adaptable. Don't try to bring your own country into Canada. So you want
Hmm.
to embrace a
Yeah.
new culture, you want to
Yeah.
embrace new values.
Hmm.
And yeah, sometimes you're gonna feel a little bit off track. Maybe you don't
Hmm.
know if you still belong to the previous
Hmm.
country or
Yeah.
you are a Canadian.
Yeah.
It's a matter of balance, and that
Yeah.
probably is gonna be changing over time. So just keep
Yeah.
doing whatever you're doing and don't give up if you really want to live in Canada because
Okay.
it pays. Canada is not my culture, but
Yeah.
basically the values of Canadian society are my values. So that
Hmm.
makes me want to keep living here in Canada.
Wonderful. Based on your business experience in Canada, and I know you also did quite a business in South America, what is your advice to newcomers who wish to start a business in Canada?
Yeah, so if somebody's just coming here for the first time, I would say this, don't try to start a new business right away.
Yeah.
Maybe you should get more Canadian experience,
Hmm.
establish your networking because when you are just new in Canada, you don't know many people, you don't have access to credit. I would suggest not trying to start your own business before you get permanent residency or become a
Hmm.
Canadian citizen. It
Okay.
depends
Okay.
because it's going to be quite challenging. Starting a new
Hmm.
business is always quite difficult. Doing
Hmm.
that in another country that you don't know all the rules, you don't know
Yeah.
many people, you don't have
Okay.
customers, that's going to be quite challenging. So my
Okay.
suggestion would be, yeah, you can keep your ideas in the back of your mind, but
Yeah.
try to establish connections, maybe start having some experience, Canadian experience here. And on time, after you get your PR, probably you're going to be in a better position to start your own business.
Wonderful. So, Martin, what is next for you?
So that's something I keep asking myself quite often. But right now, I'm quite interested in going a little bit back to my former background. I studied computing science,
Hmm.
and right now I'm realizing that there's more and more there's a thin line between business and technology.
Hmm.
Technology is all around.
Yeah.
I used to work with data, and now
Hmm.
there's a lot of opportunities to do business with data and artificial intelligence. So
Hmm.
probably I would try to get some additional education on that.
Yeah.
And at the same time, keep trying to learn French. I'm improving my French skills.
Nice.
And at the same time, I'm considering maybe start some consulting service
Hmm.
specialized on sales and technology. So
Hmm.
I'm still considering what are going to be my following challenges.
Hmm.
But yeah, so that those are some of the possibilities right now.
Thank you for your time, Martin. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, David. You too. Bye bye.